diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. Check. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, they find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, Black Sun, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us. We Ric Flairing on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, OBC, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this?
My bad. Listen, I have been ripping and running all day. I ain't even do the right theme song, so I apologize. So we're going to get right into it. That's how messed up. I just got off the road. My mind is, listen, it's wild out here in these streets. My TV ain't working. My desk ain't working. Oh, it is working. Like, it's just not a good day. It's just not a good day. I'll tell you that right now. Let me see. Hold on. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. Listen, I know a lot of y'all wanted to hear the theme song. I apologize. Listen, it's been a long weekend, bro. I can run it back maybe later, but as of right now, I can't. I apologize. All right, listen, you already know what it is. Today's Afterglow show. Make sure you like the stream. I got over 300 people in here. All right, listen. You know this show cannot go down without the co-host, my boy. Come in, boy.
What
What's going on, Kof? What is going on?
What it is. And in the words of Bernie Mac, I ain't scared of you, mother. Let y'all know I've been this guy. I ain't scared of you, mother. Y'all know now. You ain't played my theme song. And I'm already on 10, but that's all right. Because I ain't scared of you, mother.
I love the energy. All right, so people are asking for the theme song. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna let it rock for y'all, man. Because listen, I can't do y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play it. I'm not gonna play the whole intro. I'm gonna just play the theme song so y'all we can get in the right mode and the vibe. We can get the energy right. You know what I'm saying? We'll try this.
Oh.
All right, let me download this jank real quick and we'll get it popping because I know people want to hear the theme song. You know, that's a lot of people got it for their ringtone, Kof. They say we love it so much they got it for the ringtone. So we gonna run it back. We gonna
all right. Rewind.
Pretend like you ain't see us.
You ain't see us. Cause I ain't scared of you, mother.
Oh man, I'm loving it. I needed that. Listen, bro. I needed that energy for real. All right, so let me see.
Go.
Let me run it back for y'all. It's still downloading. So man, Kofi, that was funny. I needed that energy, bro, for real. Hey, when did you get back in town?
I literally, like you, am just walking through the door. So I'd had a ride and everything, and you know they was coming to get me, and then one of the people that was riding in the car with us last night left their wallet in the car. So they had to turn around, go back, take the wallet back on the other side of Miami Gardens, then come back to North Fort Lauderdale and get me. So
negative.
I'm literally just walking through the door, but it's all good.
All right, let's go. We're gonna run it back for you guys, and we're gonna skip it. We're gonna go to the theme song. Here I go.
Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah. OBC, yeah. We're flying on them. We're flying on them. We're flying on them. We're flying, sign up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, I'm back. Season 2, we here. Next level, bigger and better. Let's go.
See me letting go. I'ma lose control. I'm not afraid to fall. Watch me drink it in and feel it all.
8 p.m. Monday night, so you know it's time to tune in to the Afterglow show. Shout out to Kofi and the fam, you rattlers, the football historian, the audience is pouring in at this time like Jackson State playing Grambling. Both hosts like quarterbacks but ain't scrambling. The Alcorn state of mind that I'm in got me blending in but standing out like tiger skin. Shout out to TSU and all the recruits turning down big schools for HBCUs. They changed up the scheme, so we changing the scenes. Money for our likeness is nice, but this means we gotta give it all that we got in this game. Black college grad myself, I went to pain. Pick, run, hit, or throw, that's your option. Discussing the coaches, wins, and the losses on the Afterglow.
See me letting go.
Scotty, you went crazy.
I'ma lose control.
Every Monday night at 8,
I'm not
super crazy.
afraid to fall.
Featuring
Watch me
Kofi and your boy
drink it
Scotty.
in and feel it all.
You know what time it is?
Go,
Let's,
go,
you heard me. Let's,
go,
season 2.
go.
Enjoy.
All right, you know, okay, that's how you started off right. That's how I can't try to tell you, I know I got the hottest theme song on YouTube than me.
Let's go.
You all right? So, Kofi, listen. Before we get started with anything, I just want to know, man. I gotta tell you this. I don't like who y'all sponsor with. I really don't. I don't like LeBron. I love LeBron, but I don't like LeBron for y'all. He's not loyal. LeBron has no loyalty. Okay, I don't know. He don't know how to spell loyalty. You don't do this. Okay? You don't do this. This is what you don't do, LeBron. Okay? There's a lot of things I love about LeBron. I think he's the GOAT. I think he's undisputed. I think he's an amazing basketball player. I think he's a great dad, entrepreneur, all that. But you don't do this, LeBron. This ain't right. This ain't right. This ain't right. I don't agree with that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that.
Who you with, LeBron? Who you with, bro?
Come on, man.
Who you with?
He don't even promote FAMU enough to be doing this.
Right. Who you with? Now you better bring your arse to homecoming. I know that it's gonna be a problem. We got to see you in 2022, and that rhymes. But I mean what I say, LeBron. We need to see you in 2022. Bring your tail to the highest of 7 hills. We still need you.
Oh my goodness. He got to do LeBron. You got to do better, my boy. You got
to do better.
To do better. Guys, to do better. But before we get into today's show, I got some breaking news, Cove. It was somebody sent this over to me, and I said, "Wow, this is really going on." They said, "Yes, Scotty, make sure you're attending." So, there's a FAMU homegoing, and I didn't know. I was just like, "There's a FAMU homecoming." So I was like, "Oh shoot, let me." He's like. I said, dang.
Dang, this is long. My God. Play the darn song.
You respect tap, sir. So then somebody sent over. This wasn't even it. They sent me over. They sent me over the what's it called? The obituary, all that. They said, I was like, who's gonna be in attendance?
Oh, Jesus.
So they said the order. They sent me over the order of service and everything. Let me see. Let me show y'all. It's crazy, man. Listen, y'all better tune into this homegoing is crazy. All right. So the order of service is done. It says excellence with caring. I said, oh, that's nice. I said, oh, this is nice. This is nice. So they said the order of service done by T.D. Jakes, all right, at the Holy Baptist. I don't even know how to pronounce that church. Eucharist Church in September 10th, 2022. Make sure you're okay. The processional is the March of 100 in administration. Okay. Take Me to the King by Tamla Man. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Let me see. They got Jackie Hill Perry. Oh man, this is nice. They said, okay, she's reading the poem Dreams Deferred. Okay. What happens to a dream? Does it drive like a raisin? Eyes on the Sparrow by the Mass Choir. Prayer by T.D. Jakes. Old Testament reading by our aficionado, Bishop Campbell. New Testament reading by Pastor Michael Todd. Okay. Words to the Alumni by Dr.
Take him off the program. Take him off. Take him off. I don't want to hear from Larry Robinson. It's a misprint. Take his arse off the program.
Oh, you got the selection. Never would have made it by Bishop Marvin Sapp.
And we didn't make it. Next.
And the going home message is by Pastor Jamal H. Bryant. And then, they wouldn't end the program without the proper, when the dark clouds gather over the horizon, when thunder and lightning pierce the skies, when fate is but a glare in the eye of a fallen rattler and hope at a lost friend, when the sinew of the chest grows weary from the hard-charging linebackers of Jackson State, and the muscles in the logs grow tired from the hard-charging running backs from Jackson State, you must remember the Rattlers will strike, and strike again. This is a nice program. Oh, this is nice.
With the exception of Larry Robinson being on the program, please take his tail off.
Nice.
How he got on the program?
That is, I mean, listen, if you guys can be at the, what's this church called? The Eucharist?
Eucharist.
Yeah, if you guys make sure you attend. Because this is going to be a nice one. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, this is going to be nice. I'm going to be in there. Tamala, man, take me to the king. Hey, I don't have much to give. Hey, that's going to be nice. Oh, that's going to be nice. Oh, I'm going to be at that home going. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be nice. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, man, that's going to be nice. All right, anyway. Let's talk about some week 1 matchups. All right, we'll get back to that, but we'll talk about the week 1 recap. Listen, who was your biggest surprise this weekend from the week 1 recaps of the HBCU football?
I wasn't shocked by Central, and I wasn't shocked by Prairie View. The biggest shock was us getting beat the way we got beat. Wasn't that we lost, it was the way that we lost. You would have thought that we would have come out with more energy, just more strength, more height, and a freaking strategy. Willie Simmons, a freaking strategy, but we'll talk about that later. But that was the biggest shock. That was the biggest shock. Nobody really showed up. I wasn't shocked with Alcorn playing at home. I wasn't shocked by Tennessee State. So the biggest shock was us losing the way that we lost.
Ooh, man, yeah. I memean, honestly, I think the score was probably the most shocking aspect of it. I like, if you go back and listen to any of the old Afterglow shows, what has been my common theme? Willie Simmons can't win the big game. So it's really not that surprising to me that you lost. It's just the score of the matter which made it so bad.
Bruh.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely crucial. The biggest loser this weekend, other than your team, what's your opinion? Your biggest losers of this weekend of the HBCU?
I think we lost for everybody, to be honest. Cookman can't hang their heads, and if anybody watched that game, I think if you take it, Miami was obviously a better team, a deeper team, but they weren't the biggest losers. They got out there and they competed. I was impressed with the QB play, the speed that they have on the outside. They're going to be a tough out. I would say Sam Washington is the biggest loser. Is that his name? I would say that he's the biggest loser this weekend, just simply because I stated last week that if they lost, Kawhi, you going somewhere? That if he lost that game, that he was going to really be on the hot seat. And the mere fact that they're going to North Dakota State this week in the Wells Fargo Dome, it's not looking good.
My biggest loser has to go to Texas Southern. If you lose to a team that didn't complete a pass, like, I have no respect. Like, I don't even like, and it's not even, to me, it's not even Andrew Body, because you can only do so much. Like, you're not bigger than the coach. So if the coach puts you in predicaments that you feel like, hey, I can't be my best self, because Texas Southern is not a run the ball 40 times and throw the ball 15 times. That's not the recipe to win for Texas Southern. It's Andrew Body's arm, it's Andrew Body's legs being mixed in with the run game as well. So to me, Clarence McKinley and the coaching staff, that PV did not complete a pass. You knew they were going to run. They have a bona fide running back at quarterback. Bona fide. Now that boy bad. He can run, but he couldn't throw a lick. He looked like he was throwing ducks, like, for real. Come on, bro. Like, let me break this down. Let me really break this down. He had 3 pass attempts. One was a defensive pass interference. 2 of them were picks. 1 was a pick 6. Now, that ain't a quarterback. That is not a quarterback. And why in the blue hell is Texas Southern going to cover 3 deep? Makes no sense when the guy can't throw the ball farther than 10 yards. This is the same guy that threw a backwards pass in the SWAC championship. What? Come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, they literally ran a spread wing tee. Like, it's ridiculous. Now, their defense, legit. Got to give them credit for that. That front four, it doesn't look like it dropped off any bit. I mean, I don't know how bad Texas Southern is, but from what PV showed me on the defense side of the ball, they're damn good. You know what I'm saying? But offensively, oh, no, that should have never happened. Should have never happened. You should have put the cheerleaders in the box. Should have put your grandma in the box. You should. I mean, everybody should. The crowd should have been in the box.
Oh my God!
It's just bad coaching all around. And the fact of the matter is that these guys are getting paid $200,000, $300,000 to do such a piss poor job. Is sad. Now I have to apologize, and I have to apologize. Definitely not the PV fans, because y'all Bamas are still Spazzatura trash. All right, let me. Y'all still trash. Stop playing me. All right. I have to apologize to Coach Fred McNair. I really do. Because he keeps saying like shut up. Like that's why I feel like Coach McNair keeps telling me like, yo, shut up. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I was not expecting Alcorn to look half as decent as they did against Stephen F. Austin with all the turnover at Alcorn. But he just keep proving. For anybody that keeps saying Jay Hobson has built that team and he's living off Jay Hobson's players, hey, that train is come and gone. You know, that train has came and gone. I don't know how he's getting people down there to milk cows and watch chickens and play football. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but listen, I'm never picking Howard ever again, and they lost to Hampton again. I'm not going to pick against Alcorn for a while. Listen, I'm always going to give Alcorn a fighting chance because McNair is just that guy. Like, high level coaching, high level coaching. All right. Let's talk about this game of the week. Let's talk about this game of the week that became an ass whooping of the week. All right, Kofi. You want to start with the takeaways or you want to start with who gets the belt? It's on you.
I was prepared to start with a song, but let's start with the takeaway. Is my choir here? Go get my choir. Go tell your mom to come. But I was gonna start with a song, but I may do that one later.
All right.
So let's talk about the takeaways because I have to explain and break this down. I wasn't, two teams show up, somebody finna win, somebody finna lose. It was the way we went out there. It was like nobody's business. Now, the key thing is last week, if we had the keys pulled up, talking about all of the things that we needed to do to win the game, we did none of that at all. And, the name, I want to say the theme was leave no doubt. Well, there's no doubt we got our ass kicked. Okay.
Oh,
the good news is it's over. It's time to regroup and we can begin again. We had so many takeaways, I had to write it down. So they dominated. J-State dominated on both sides of the ball. And really with that, FAMU for the last 3 games had absolutely, positively no pass rush. None. They had 1 sack with a nice little stunt from Isaiah Lamb. But other than that, the CLA tape, the North Carolina tape, the Jackson State tape, we are generating no pass rush. We're not getting close to even looking at the QB, let alone sacking him. And that in itself is a major problem. The receivers weren't just open. Whoever he chose to throw the ball to, they were wide open. Whether it was a tight end, running back coming out of the backfield, wide receivers, they were wide open with space to run. I mean, anytime a QB opens up a game and goes 17 for freaking 17 from a defensive schematic standpoint, you're doing something wrong. And it's apparent that we had no remedy for wheel routes, screens, nothing. On the offensive side, fam, you never committed to the run game. And in order to even, when you win big games, it's so important to establish the run. Fam, they handed it off, but it was the same exact one back set that we have seen. And whenever I see that in the backfield, it's always just remedy for disaster, because there's no guessing by the defense. You know who the ball is going to, even if you decide to run. And it was the same exact running play over and over again. They even did one little wide out where it was some suspect type option. It wasn't even an option play because it was just one back in the backfield with one person. It was laughable. And because they never committed to the run, then everybody's just loading up at the line of scrimmage. The passing lanes weren't there. We couldn't do anything. All right. Now, here's the thing that really made me be like, boy, Willie Simmons, this is like, sir, what in the world are you doing? It's 4th and freaking 1 from the 50-yard line. You're trying to generate some measure of momentum, and you bring McKay off the bench, who hasn't thrown a ball all game. His first play is a 4th and 1. He comes freaking in, fumbles the ball. Jackson State gets it. And I'm like, sir, who in the world does that? Can I get an explosion or something? My God, what is going on with you people in the background? Who does that? Jesus. I'm like, 4th and 1. The boy is still traumatized from last year. He goes into the game and he's not even a running QB. I can see it if it was Sapp and you were trying to do something different. But McKay is not a freaking runner. I don't even know what they were looking at, what he was thinking. I'm just curious. That right there told me, bruh, this was the absolute worst coaching job Willie Simmons has ever done. And since he's been at FAMU, since that last Jackson State game, when we had 10 seconds left, and you, instead of kicking a field goal, run another play, they stop it and win the game. It's just ridiculous. Now, the block punt, you went out and hired a darn special teams coach, Coach Simmons, and the special teams kicked right to the people we told you not to kick to. You kept kicking to them. I was like, sir, you said that you watched the tape. I didn't say you watched the tape. You said you watched the tape. And I'm sitting there like, bruh, like, you're kicking to the people that can score touchdowns. You're kicking to the people that can score touchdowns. Why are you kicking to these people? There was no rugby. Then this is the thing. Because block kicks to me are just totally avoidable. But it wasn't because from a scheme standpoint, that dude took about 5 seconds to kick the ball. I was like, sir, I could have blocked that darn kick. But all of this began with Larry Robinson's weak pregame ritual. It was like the driest Rattler charge I have ever heard in my entire life. Why you give this man a microphone, especially with all of the energy surrounding the university, is absolutely ridiculous. They could have had Carmen Cummings out there. They could have had anybody out there, but God damn, Larry Robinson. We don't want to see him right now. And then he doesn't even do it well. It's like, bro, it was just bad. But it was apparent that Jackson State did their homework. They watched the CLA tape. They watched the UNC tape. And, you know, they upgraded on both sides of the ball, and it showed. Now, you know, it is what it is.
So I went back and I watched the first half, like the coach's tape of the first half. I'll tell you one thing. They benefited not playing a first game. They benefited because when you You see it like you don't when you're watching, like when I watch the game, I don't really look at the defense very often. I kind of look at the offense and the corners and things like that. But when you go back and watch the tape, you see all the influence of Mike Zimmer on this defense because it looks completely different than what it looked like last year.
Well coached, good advice, multiple looks, it's good stuff. And again, let me say this in case Coach Simmons and anybody else from that team is watching this. Guys, your offense is very predictable. In 2 years, you have scored all of 9 points. Your wide receivers are not getting any type of separation on man coverage. None. So the passing lanes are very, 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 very tight.
But it wasn't okay. So going into, I think you have to split up the years. So going into last year, I think this year was a lot harder than last year because on top of them going, man, they did do I saw Jack State drop 8 a lot, they dropped 8 a lot. And I'm talking about you know what I'm saying? But hold on. That's what they want you to do on 3rd and 10. If I drop 8 on 3rd and 10, that's what I want. I want you to run the ball, but you're not going to run the ball because you're going to throw the ball. So they just made it that much harder throwing into those passing lanes. And then and I got to give credit to Dennis Thurman and Mike Zimmer on showing. And I mean, they had Niles Gaddy, the DN, dropping in the trips coverage, right? They had, they had a very complex scheme to where you have people don't understand, you have to have a lot of movement to have people declare. It's just, that's how offense works. You cannot line up against Jackson State and go, I'm going to go trips right. I'm going to go a 3-by-1 with a guy in the backfield and run my route. You won't because you don't know what they're doing. It can look like man and it will damn well be zone. It can look like man and it will be a zone. It'll be zone and look like man. They flip it up so much.
There was absolutely no disguise in what we were doing.
And at the end of the day, there was some of the stuff, but it's the issue to me is this. At some point in time, Willie Simmons has to use 18 years of coaching to make adjustments. At some point in time, Willie Simmons has to use 18 years of coaching for adjustments.
Not nary one.
And who you really need to be mad at is Ryan. Ryan is who, bro. Let me explain something. I cannot wait till I can settle down and break this film down. But your defensive coordinator, whoever your defensive coordinator, I think it's Smitty, whatever his damn name is, he needs to. I don't know if there's a defensive coordinator school. I don't know if there's a boot camp. He has to go back because if you think that running a base defense where you never go dime, you never go nickel, you never take a lineman off the field and add a safety, or you never do anything exotic, no
blitzes.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It was ridiculous.
You think going forward that's going to be successful. And this is my thing. This is my absolute issue with Willie Simmons. You can run off 9 straight, but it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. I don't care if FAMU wins every single game after this. Now, Southern, that might be something different because I think they might be really good. That game I might give them a credit. But it doesn't matter because you never win the game that matters. These are 2 things that are true with Willie Simmons. You never win the game that matters, or you lose the game that matters the most. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense how you can go I don't get it. I really just don't understand it. A guy, this is my worst coaching job in 18 years. In the biggest game, you decide to bring your worst. It wasn't against Bethune. It wasn't against UAPB. It wasn't. You knew you had to be prepared for this game. You had a whole year to prepare. Now, granted, I'm telling you, if anybody has a chance to go watch that game again or watch the tape or however you want to see it, Jackson State does they do some exotic stuff. It's really next. Last year's stuff is elementary compared to what they're bringing this year. It is like damn near calculus compared to they was running like algebra 1. You know what I'm saying? Now they on statistics and calculus. They on another level with the pack. But man, listen, they on another level with the packages, the scheme, how they're dropping and everything like that. But the only way you negate all that is staying honest to the run. Misdirection and staying honest to the run. It is what it is. What are some of your JSU takeaways?
They executed. I mean, Shadur has grown up. I want to say he was mature. He made the right reads. He went 17 for 17.
Hold on. Let me take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Okay.
Get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
If you're searching online for high-quality premium cigars, look no further than slowburnwaco.com. Slow Burn is a Black-owned, consistent, customer-centric cigar retailer with dope-ass cigars, featuring boutique brands and a wide variety of well-known brands.
When you order at slowburnwaco.com, Keisha and Rocky Miller will ensure that your cigars are carefully inspected before they are packaged, making sure your order arrives on time and in the best condition. So make your next move your best move and order some sticks at slowburnwaco.com.
Get your sticks from Slow Burn. All right, Slow Burn Waco. Use the promo code OFFSCRIPT TV. You get 20% off your FAMU cigar packs that JSU fans are still smoking at this day. Let me say something very quick, Sean. My boy Sean, he said JSU faithful back, Scotty. Yeah, they was bitching and moaning yesterday. Oh my God, he closed the chat down. I don't close the chat down on every show, but if you want to troll, you got to pay to troll on the post game show. It just is what it is. But you can happily wait to the Afterglow show and come in here and troll all you want. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're subscribed. All right, so yeah, you ain't saying nothing to me. All right, back to your JSU takeaways. Cove, talk to me.
Love the looks from J-State defense. They played man. They did it well. Travis Hunter locked everybody he covered up. Shadur played lights out. They just dominated in all three phases. Even they were able to get solid yardage in the run game, which is something that they were not necessarily doing last year. So that is another element, but with the way that we were playing defense, it was just absolutely ridiculous. I can't even begin to tell you again until Smitty shows me something else. I was on his bandwagon, looking at what they were doing in the spring and looking what was happening. But bruh, like this has to really, 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 really pick up because I'm not saying it. We gave up 38 to CeeLa, Southeast Louisiana. We gave up another 56 points, even if it is University of North Carolina. It's still 56 points. Then we come back last night. We gave up 14, so that was 59 minus. Okay, 45 points on offense. That's not good defense. I don't care who you're playing against. You're doing something schematically wrong, and it's time for you to be able to make adjustments, sir. This is unacceptable.
My JSU takeaways is I absolutely love the offense. I mean, that offense is literally what you're look like. That, like, to me, like if I was running an offense, and I'm not even a big fan of the air raid, just the motion, the movement, the simple leverage. I mean, it was immaculate. I can't explain it. I absolutely love the offense. I think when people hit the transfer portal and got the 4, 5, 6 DBs, this is the reason why. This is the reason why you go out and you get 5 or 6 DBs that can play at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Because you know JSU is bringing talent on their whole receiver core, right? That's one. The defensive takeaway to me, listen, at the end of the day, people might not like it. The D-line is not special to me. I don't care how you want to flip it, turn it. They're not special to me. If I'm comparing it to last year, it's a C. You know what I'm saying? I think they do what they do very well. You know what I'm saying? I think they do very well, but I don't think they have the playmakers that they had last year. But at the end of the day, they do their job very well. So I have to give them the credit for that. But once again, that secondary for Jackson State is on another level, right? Because where you look to expose them, I'll say these two things that shocked me: that Willie Simmons didn't attack Cam, and he didn't attack Zay in the slot. And for Zay, and I got to give Zay a lot of credit for him to be such a big corner. He's like 6'2", 6'3", runs a 4.3 legit. And for him to be in the slot, that tells me that boy can move, because you usually don't put big guys like that in the slot. That's just something you don't do, because they usually don't have the hips to move. So I got to give him big credit for that, because now that allows them to, I mean, you can literally put your best guys on the field at all time, and then not attacking Cam, because, well, they put Cam, like most times Cam was at a too high look. And when he wasn't at a too high look, he was coming in the box, and he would either blitz or he'll play like a close man-to-man situation. So I like that they're hiding Cam the right way so that he doesn't get exposed to his size when he goes against the inside tight ends and things like that. So it's a great scheme that they got going on, man. Listen, when they zone it up, I mean, there's a play that was ran early in the first half, and Jackson State dropped 8. And I mean, the way they were pushing people through the zone and bumping and everything, it was really pretty, man. I mean, they're very, very schemed. Their scheme discipline is really, really high. But at the end of the day, I still go back to the fact that you have to commit to the run. And I don't know if Willie Simmons is just allergic to it, like, because I just
stubborn, man. That was just stubborn. You knew what you had to do. There was no 2-back sets, no 3-back sets, no disguise, no new formations, nothing. You didn't roll Musa out. You didn't do anything that told me that you learned from last year, that the staff learned from last year in regards to what this offense needed to do. You got excited because he completed a couple of passes against the University of North Carolina, who also has given up 63 and 24 points in 2 games. So they're not a good defense. So you got hype off of that and was like, oh, we got somebody. But, you know, at the end of the day, knowing that you were going to see a blitz, knowing that you were going to have to do some things, when you play an air raid team or a team that can score points or potentially score points, especially in a big game, establishing the run is what you do. Every time. It doesn't matter who it is. You have to establish the run unless you have a superstar, a really bona fide superstar QB and a bona fide superstar wide receiver who can create separation. If you don't have that, you have to establish the run. It is an old school rule, but it's a rule nonetheless. And not only establish, in order to establish it, you have to commit to it. You have to commit to it. There was no real commitment there. Nothing that I saw on yesterday told me that you were committed, married, even though you have 3, 4 capable running backs that are well over 200 pounds, that can move, that can, it was just no disguise, no nothing, man. I was very disappointed.
I think people don't understand what establish the run means. So let me explain to you, like, establishing the run is not, you know, oh, I didn't see a 10-yard gain or I didn't see a 10-yard. That's not how you establish the run. Establishing the run is making the team not pinned it, like they have to respect it. So when you're getting 2 yards a pop, 3 yards a pop, that's staying ahead of the change. That's really all. If you watch the whole first 2 drives of Jackson State's touchdowns, that's all they did was stay ahead of the change. Instead of them running the ball, they just did quick. They just literally took what the defense gave them. The receiver go 2, 3, 4 yards, turn around. That's a run. Tackle, boom, 4-yard gain. Like, that's a run. Like, however you want to describe it, it's a run, right? Okay, 3 yards, turn around, throw it, boom. That's a run. Like, it's 3 yards, right? It's just done differently. You know what I'm saying? Because when people see passing game, they're like, oh, he wasn't throwing it around. No, it's just dicking. It's something that Tom Brady has done his whole life. All right. Other than 2007, Tom Brady was just like over your head. But every other time, Tom Brady literally just all he does is sit back, boom, 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 boom. And what happens is the defense gets frustrated because he gets the ball out so fast, I can't touch you, right? So the opposite for Musa is that I need you to know that I can hand this ball off and my running back can get to 3 yards a pop. That's because that's really all you're looking for. Anything other is like a plus. You just want to be, because if I get 3, 3, and a 4, or 4, 3, 3, like I'm moving the chains. That's what it's all about. It's
Look,
and
I'm sorry. Let me say this. You do not need size to establish the run. I know a lot of people like, oh, well, this line. Bruh, I have seen offensive lines that don't have height, that don't have size, that are very, very good, and they utilize their quickness. AKA, what's the man's name that was coaching the Denver Broncos with Shanahan?
Yeah, Mike.
Shanahan's lines weren't massive. They weren't the Hogs from Washington, but they knew where to go. Schematically, they knew what to do, and they put a hat on a hat. They know what to do. Understanding where you need to go is part of what you need to establish the run game. You do not need a massive offensive line, but you do need a commitment to what you're doing. And there was no commitment. There was no disguise. There was nothing different. We didn't do it. It was bad.
I think the next section for this JSU takeaway for me is what does when tape starts getting out, how different do they start to look down the field? Because I think that's what makes it's either two things. Teams that are really great, they can adjust, or they just do it so well you can't stop it. It's either one of the two. So it's either JSU scheme is like Shedeur understands it so well offensively, and then their defensive scheme is so well, and the players are just so good that we're see, like that's like the old Cowboys. We gonna run with Emmett. You can't stop it. You see what I'm saying? So I want to see that what that looks like for JSU 3 or 4 games down the line is saying like, hey, we're so good, you can't stop it. You know it's coming, you just can't stop it. Or do they constantly make adjustments over the season and course of other games as more and more tape gets out? I think that's another thing I would like to look going down forward. But before we get into these week 2 matchups, in your opinion, do you feel Willie Simmons can win the big game?
He absolutely can, but he hasn't shown the one that we need. Anytime you beat a North Carolina A&T 2 years in a row, I would consider that a big game. So, but then you come around and, you lose to Howard on the road, then you lose to Bethune. We were 9-1 going into Florida Classic, and we needed that game to really leave no doubt as to who the HBCU national champs were, but we lose that game. In spite of whatever. I mean, it's not good. But again, big games, what they do is that they challenge your decision making. It's not so much necessarily the quality of the opponent that you're playing, but what they do is that they force you to make decisions. They force you to manage the clock. They force you to make good calls in big games. They force you you really see what the strategy is and what you're made of when you're under pressure in the big game. It never fails. And that's where you make your money as a coach. When people can say, okay, this guy knows. Buddy Pugh, I've seen him in major games just go out and do it. It's the curse of the booty. Whatever. It's necessary when you are playing a big game that you do 3 things. Number 1, you have to have energy. You have to come out with energy. And what I call this championship, not energy, championship intensity. There's an intensity that's needed when you come out to play a big game. There is no question about whether your team is focused, whether or not they fired up. You're coming out, you're running down the field with championship intensity. Fam, you didn't do that yesterday. They didn't come out looking like that yesterday. Championship focus. People not getting dumb penalties at the wrong time. Just stuff like that. Understanding what your job is and just staying focused on what you're supposed to do. Championship, understanding what situational football. which is what we didn't do. Again, 4th and 1 from the freaking 50, you choose to bring a cold QB off the bench to do something that he doesn't normally do or do well. What you were looking at, I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue as to what in tarnation you were doing. If Musa was hurt, that's the only thing that I could possibly understand as to why you brought McKay in that situation, or why he chose to bring McKay into that situation. But I just didn't get it. Situational football, because that's where your money is made. In the right situation, do you make the right call? Managing the clock is key and essential in big games. Understanding what the clock is, what the down is, and then respecting your personnel. Respecting your personnel enough to know what your strengths are, where the matchups are, and how you can exploit the personnel of the opponent that you're facing. Mm-hmm. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, obviously you need execution, but championship adjustments. You got to be able, your team, when you're in a big game, that means that the team that you're playing is good. They're going to do some things well. They're going to make plays. They're going to impose their will on you. How do you adjust? How do you deal with that measure of adversity? All of those things contribute. The great ones do it great. Bill Belichick, no question about it. If he's got to run the ball 50 some odd times to win the game, he understands that he's going to stick to the script. That's another one. Stick to the freaking script. Don't be so fast to get off script with what you know is going to freaking work.
Or at least try something new. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to go into the week 2 matchups of the upcoming week. Stay tuned.
Get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
All participants are muted.
If you're searching online for high-quality premium cigars, look no further than slowburnwaco.com. Slow Burn is a black-owned, consistent, customer-centric cigar retailer with dope-ass cigars, featuring boutique brands and a wide variety of well-known brands.
When you order at slowburnwaco.com, Keisha and Rocky Miller will ensure that your cigars are carefully inspected before they are packaged, making sure your order arrives on time and in the best condition. So make your next move your best move and order some sticks at slowburnwaco.com.
Make sure you support slowburnwaco.com. Get 20% off your FAMU packs that you're smoking with OffScript TV for 20% off OffScript TV. All right, week 2 matchups. All right, you got some up and coming ones, some big ones I like. You got Austin P, Valley, and you got South Carolina State, Bethune. What else we got? We got Grambling, Northwestern State, Southern, and LSU. All right, and then you got the game of the week, Southern Heritage Classic. So let's start. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this. I heard through the grapevine that Coach Vince Dancy said Eason played well, and he's gonna play in the Austin P game. Coach Dancy, with all due respect, you're smoking crack. With all due respect, you're smoking dope. Okay, because if you think you're going to walk in the game with Austin P and Eason be the only quarterback you play, you are going to lose the game. Stop it, sir. I'm like, stop it. Don't be so stubborn that you can't try any other quarterback. Don't do that. Don't do that, sir. Don't do that. Go ahead. But that Bethune-Cookman and South Carolina State game, I am a fan of this one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to start with Valley State and Austin P because, again, the SWAC needs respect. So this is a game where you're going to see the quality of the personnel that Valley has acquired over on the off season. So this is a winnable game for Valley, but I'm still gonna go with Austin P. Until we win one of those games, it is what it is. But South Carolina State Bethune is gonna be a really, really, really good game.
Absolutely.
And both of these teams have a lot on the line. They know each other very, very well. South Carolina State lately has handled Bethune. The difference that I see this year with this Bethune team is quarterback play and the speed that they have, the mobility that they have with their QBs is going to be a factor in this game. The difference is I respect Buddy Pugh's ability to keep things simple, play with championship experience, and make good decisions. Until Cookman does that, I'm going to go with South Carolina State. But Cookman can win this game.
Well, absolutely, Cookman can win this game, and I like Quashon Bird. I like number 2, the receiver. Kamari Everett. I think if I'm being honest, Kamari Everett just looked a little slow against the Miami game. I don't know, he just looked a little sluggish. But this is my thing with South Carolina State, and it starts and ends with Corey Fields. What Corey Fields are you going to see? Because Shaq Davis and whoever they got playing receiver are not going to be effective if Corey Fields is throwing like he's throwing a rock in the ocean and just don't care, okay? Because sometimes against Youssef, he just didn't care. I mean, he throwing balls. I'm like, bro, is Ray Charles your daddy? Because you're blind. You're blind right now. You know the movie in Ray when he's banging on the drum and he can't see, like you're blind. You're blind. What are you doing? Okay. I'm excited to see what Jalen Jones also looks like going into this game, because at the end of the day, him making the next step and taking that next step in the quarterback and making accurate throws and making the right reads, and Corey Reed being there, like I said, Quashon Bird, Kamari Everett, they have talent on that team. I mean, this game should be a heavyweight matchup, but I got to see if Corey Fields is going to play. I got to see what Corey Fields I'm going to see. You know what I'm saying? I got to see. Grambling versus Northwestern State.
Next.
And Southern versus LSU. Well, we already know the Southern LSU, but let me say this. I don't think Dumas is going to play this game. Word on the street is that he's dealing with the injury. Hopefully, if he can play, I think this will be definitely a get money game, and me and Blue will talk about that on Wednesday. But Grambling and Northwestern, this is very winnable. This is a very winnable game for Grambling. I went back and saw some Northwestern. They said Dumas is out, so dang, I really would have loved to see Dumas against this matchup. This is a very winnable game for Grambling. I went back and watched some Northwestern on their schedule. They lost. I mean, Southern ain't beat. They beat McNeese. Southern ain't never beat McNeese. Okay, so let's just be there. So Northwestern ain't all that bad, but this is a very winnable game. They've lost to Southeast Louisiana. They've got blown out by some other FCS teams. Grambling, if they come to play, they can definitely come win this game. And you got to get back on track before you start SWAC play when you go against Jackson State. You want to get something. You want to get some continuity. You want to get some structure, some sort of identity of what your team is. What you got, Kof?
I agree, bro. We need this one, Grambling. Grambling. Oh, Grambling.
And Alcorn beat this team last year as well. So, yeah.
We need this one. We got to win. We got to win these out-of-conference games. Otherwise, our reputation as a conference is going to remain what it is. We got to win this game. And, I want to see Hugh Jackson's experience or professional experience show up in his play calling. You don't necessarily need stuff exotic, but I want to see his football IQ show up in this game and create matchups that give an advantage to his team. I want to see down in this. I want to see good decisions, guys. And come on, Grambling, we need this.
All right. And last but not least, the game of the week: Tennessee State, Jackson State. Kof, if you want to make your pick now, because I know you don't do it on the ONG Strike Zone. You guys don't pick like Jackson State games. So if you want to pick your game, I'm gonna pick mine on Wednesday. But if you want to make your pick, you can do it now. But just talk about some key.
Jackson State looked dominant. They were dominant on yesterday. But I think Tennessee State's going to present a totally different deal this year. If I were betting my life, I would go Jackson State by, I want to say 38. They scored 38 last year. I'm going to say Jackson State 38. Tennessee State 21. But here's the deal. Tennessee State can win this game. They can win this game, especially if JSU believes their own hype and they come out and they're not focused. And Tennessee State has the personnel to at least, and I think Eddie George being a running back, he's going to definitely look to establish the run. The fact that they have a mobile QB who in the back that can also make plays is going to present new issues for the Jackson State defense. I expect a much closer game than what you saw this week. I expect, especially with the intensity of what happened surrounding this game. But until Jackson State loses, I have to go with J-State.
For me, watching this game, and I watched a little bit of film, I think Eastern Washington, them playing Eastern Washington before Jackson State is probably the biggest help to Tennessee State ever.
Absolutely.
Because the scheme is really similar. The style of play, I think the white boy is a little shiftier than Shador is. But other than that, that's the style you're going to see from Jackson State when they spread you out, throw it around the yard, still run the ball. I think that did prepare. I think that will prepare Tennessee State to see what they're going to see. Now, I think people got to be very mindful. Tennessee State has some injuries that did come about in that game, and Kavon Pope did go out with targeting. So he won't be back, I believe, until about the second quarter of that game as well, the linebacker from Ohio State. But for me, listen, Draylon Ellis, he's like a catch-22 on both sides. He did a 30-yard run to the end zone, and I have rarely seen, I don't know if I've rarely seen a quarterback do a hop step and I'm trying to explain it, like he was running and somebody was coming to the angle. He kind of like dead leg stepped him and ran right past him. Draylon Ellis is a different type of speed at quarterback. He's not Jalen Jones fast, but he's damn near close. Okay. Now, the flip side of Draylon is he doesn't have the quarterback discipline of a Shador to where he just boom, boom, boom. That's
his
what
eyes, his vision.
That's where Draylon Ellis is an issue.
Vulnerable.
Yes, that's where he's lacking. If he had both of those, I think this game would be really, really, really close, or it will be. But I think the biggest factor is how well does Tennessee State run game show up? Because go ahead.
I want to say the Tennessee State run game and then the Tennessee State defense. How physical are they? And can they stop the Jackson? If they stop the Jackson State run, you're going to have a really good game. This is going to be a very physical game. And if Tennessee State can just man and not do stupid stuff, like bring a QB off the bench who has not played to run a play the entire game, they stand a good chance. Manage the clock. Do what you do well. Play big game football. I think this intensity is going to be there, and we're going to see. We're going to see a good game.
All right, call lines are open. You guys can call in. We'll go for about 30 to 35 minutes on the call lines. And also, I want to bring up a game that I totally forgot about, but I want to talk about. People are going to be like, what? North Texas against Texas Southern. I think it's a very winnable game. I don't care what you talk about the PV game. I'm going to count that as a loss. I'm going to move on. We're going to look forward. I think if Texas Southern lets Andrew be Andrew, because this is still the same Andrew who put up 500 total yards against UAPB. This is still the same Andrew that put up total of 400 yards against Rice. This is the same Andrew Body that beat Southern last year, where they went down to the wire with Jackson State. So Andrew is still Andrew, and I'm still Andrew Buddy all day, every day. So don't get it twisted. All right. Listen, my loyalty runs deeper than LeBron.
Let's go.
All right. My loyalty runs a lot deeper than LeBron. So I'm excited to see that game and see Andrew Body get back on track. 1027 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, Scotty. Hey, Kobe. How y'all doing,
What's
man?
good?
Yo.
Hey, I don't usually do this, but I got to snitch. This man, LeBron, was at Ohio State's game and not taking part in the beatdown that happened in the Orange Blossom Classic. Like, he was at Ohio State, not at the school he's sponsoring. That's kind of messed up.
But he's from Ohio. Come on, man. Like, the boy is from Ohio.
But still, bro.
He's not from
This is
Tallahassee.
the first game.
He's not from
the first real game for FAMU, and you're not going to show up?
He's not from Tallahassee,
That's
bro.
kind of messed up.
He's not from Tallahassee.
But he sponsored the team.
But he's not from Tallahassee. Next question. What I say? What I say? He's not from Tallahassee.
All right. Barring the Southern game, do you think that FAMU can get back on top of this horse and clear out the rest of the games on their schedule this season?
Man, go ahead, Kofi. You take this.
They can. At this point, it is what it is. It's kind of like you got to see it. I mean, the way they played yesterday, they looked like they could have like about 4-5 losses. But the thing is, this is a really good team, and they're more than capable of running the table like they did last year. But what does it mean at this point? So, it is what it is. But they're capable. They can do it.
All right. Thank you for answering my question. You guys have a good night.
You too. Bless you.
Listen, they're capable, but I can't respect it. I'm so
Bruh, the way they played yesterday was just, but for the record, there was a year when Deion Sanders was balling in Tallahassee, and they played UM, and they missed a wide right field goal, and Miami went on to win the national title. So then the next year, FSU was like, we're going to beat UM. We're going to do all this extra, blah, blah, blah. Let's go down in the Orange Bowl and whoop their tail. Well, they go down there, and Miami shuts Florida State all the way out. It was 31-0. And Florida State plays in the Sugar Bowl. They tie Auburn. But they ran the table the rest of the way. And this is kind of what it reminds me of. And then, Dabo Swinney and them, he was also one of those coaches that was labeled to never be able to win the big game. Florida State and Jameis Winston come into Death Valley of all places, and they come in and they beat Clemson like 56-14 in front of their home fans. And everybody's like, boy, we could just fire Dabo right now. We could just get rid of this Bama. He can't coach. He sucks. He's never going to win the big game. This is what this feels like. Dabo made adjustments. Dabo changed his philosophy, went out and got better players. And now Clemson went out and subsequently won 2 national titles. But that, it basically began the night that they really lost that game 56-14 in their home stadium. So if it's a rainy game, that's gonna cut down. It's gonna cut down on the air ball, obviously. So it's gonna come down to tackling. It's gonna come down to paying attention to detail. It's gonna come down to those little things that you're supposed to do well.
All right, you're
running the ball.
I get to the callers, man. You holding up the call line, bro.
Let's go.
And let me say something before I get to these call lines. Nobody cares because y'all don't care about the playoffs. It's real funny to me when people want to bring up the poll. Oh my God, we're top 10. Who gives a damn? You don't go to the playoffs. Who gives a damn? You don't go to the playoffs. Because if anybody else was ranked, who cares? Oh, we don't care about the playoffs. We don't care about the playoffs. It's not financially beneficial to be in the playoffs. So who gives a damn if you ranked? Nobody. Shut up. Let me go. 2156 going to you. You calling you live? Talk to me.
Scotty, what's up, man?
What's up? Your timer's on. You got 3 minutes.
Kofi, good to see you, man. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, listen, real quick, fellas. Let's, and all FAMU fans, let's not overreact to what took place yesterday. FAMU gonna be okay. Okay, they just ran into a highly motivated buzzsaw in Jackson State, and FAMU just so happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Period. Okay, it's football, fellas. At the end of the day, it's played between the lines, and as long as FAMU don't let yesterday get the best of them, stay the course. Trust me, they're gonna be okay. I know they wanted Jackson State. The fans wanted Jackson State. It didn't happen. Let's move on. My question, though, when it comes down to that quarterback, McKay, I heard through the grapevine that during that UNC game, the coach went to put him in, and he said, "Hey, coach, let's stick with the hot hand." Is that true? Because if so, that can potentially be a problem for that team, fellas. Okay? Think about it. Anybody that got a competitive bone in their body does not yield that type. Tom Brady, hey, Tom, I know you've been on the sideline, but now it's time for you to, oh, no, coach, stay with it just anybody that heart of a champion, they do not produce that response. Thoughts?
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
I disagree. I think it all depends on if the guy is a team player. If he's a team player, then it's all about the team for him. You know what I'm saying? As long as the team is winning, as long as the team is being successful. Now, if he goes and the team isn't doing well and he says something like that, then okay, yeah. But if the team is, if he feels the team is doing well,
Scott, y'all was losing. The FAMU was losing.
But how much were they supposed
to? This thing wasn't doing well. FAMU was losing the game, bro.
I can't rock with you on that, bro. I'm sorry. Like I don't know.
Not right there. And Musa, and the thing about it,
if they was winning, I understand your coach's response. They was losing.
Nah,
okay?
I still don't agree.
I'm saying that. I'm sorry. I'm saying what I'm saying because I understand and know McKay. So, he is a competitor. He's a dog, and he will fight for his brothers. But he's also very mature and understanding the situation, not wanting to break the momentum that Musa had. I can understand him, knowing him, making that statement. But, it is what it is.
Thanks for the call. Let me see. 0294 coming to you. Timer's on. You're live.
Yo, Scotty.
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Craig Hall calling from the great state of Texas, Southern. We still here, man. Kofi.
What's up, man?
What up, boy?
What up, boy?
Yeah, man.
Right, what's your question,
man,
Craig?
good week, man. Good talk. I just wanted to give a shout out. It's still Andrew Body.
All day, every day.
That's all I want. That's all I want to say, man.
All right, boy.
God bless y'all, man. Keep on going. I'm listening to the show.
I appreciate you.
Love you, man. Peace.
All day, every day. It's still Andrew Buddy!
Andrew Buddy!
That's what it is, all day, every day. Stop playing with me. Let me get this timer back up. Let me see. All right, going to anonymous to probably smoke or Musa or so. Yeah, hey, Carl, you live, talk to me.
Yeah, I think people came a little bit too hard at FAMU. As my man said, it's they just made the wrong plan at the wrong time. I'm sorry. That's a hell of a way to put it, but I think they started the year out on some bullshit, so it's like they got off to a rocky start, and believe it or not, that stuff does play into the locker room, so I think they'd be all right. But JSU, I just reckon, y'all know I'm a Grambling fan, so we're not going to talk about that, but JSU is who they said they were. I thought it was a lot of gas in the beginning on Travis and all that, but everybody that they talked up proved themselves this week, so I think they're going to probably run the table, but I think this next game is going to be competitive. But do y'all think they're going to be undefeated?
I don't know yet. And they should. Now I'm going to say this. J State on paper should run the table based off the way of what we saw yesterday, they should. But this is college football, and you have to show up and play every single game. They're literally going to get everybody's best shot. Everybody's best shot. And there's still a lot of emotion. If you think Alcorn's going to lay down, you got another thing coming. If you think Southern's going to lay down, you got another thing coming. If you think Gramblin's going to lay down, you got another. And Valley is definitely not fitting to lay down. And they still got a test with Tennessee State. FAMU stepped into the game. Not only were they the wrong place, but just the wrong mindset, wrong execution, wrong all of that stuff. And one of the things that I left off when it comes to big games was don't turn over the ball. FAMU had like 4 turnovers yesterday.
How did that get? We're talking about JSU undefeated, bro. Like,
yeah, but I'm just saying, JSU undefeated. It's still a long way to go. They can blam. So, boom.
This is my answer for you.
I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
Very simple. Very simple. Anything else, Musa?
I couldn't even hear what was that?
I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
I bet you won't.
I bet you won't.
Oh, you bet they won't. Okay, all right. This is my final question, and I'm trying to gas Scotty up because I want to get your emotions pumping. But is Shador a first round draft pick in the 2024? Is he a top? Is he?
Hell no. Hell no. Listen. Hell no.
So looking at the landscape, if he continues, and I was the same way.
Hell no. Hell, like it ain't no. I don't care. Like, bro, he could do this over and over.
He got 2 years. He got 2 more years.
No.
So who's better than him in the FBS?
Everybody in the FBS because they play better competition.
That's the FCS.
What are we talking about right now? They play 10 times better competition. What are we talking about right now?
I said FCS, not FBS.
Bro, you know how hard he has to be a first round pick to do FCS? Listen, you got to understand with North Dakota State why they had Trey Lance, because they were playing top level talent in FCS competition, running the table in the FCS playoffs, playing top level guys and making plays. SWAC does not play in the playoffs. They don't have a great out of conference schedule, nor is he playing top talent. He doesn't even compare with FBS quarterbacks at lower level schools. Why? Because they play better competition. It's not even a discussion.
So you don't think he's on the draft board? I ain't saying the first pick.
No, you said first round pick. He is not a first round pick. If I was picking Shador, it's 5th to 7th right now. 5th to 7th.
Right now. But 2 years from now.
I don't give a damn if it's 2 years from now.
I'll say this. 2 years from now. And the reason, let me finish my statement now.
Not a first round pick.
The reason why I say 2 years from now, and I'm not saying that he's going to be, but 2 years from now, if JSU has runs the table and they're in the FCS playoffs and they win a national title, that's gonna bow and give him a lot of points. Not to mention being Deion Sanders' son is a big deal. They're gonna have to play against better quality competition and show off what he does. I think from an IQ standpoint, I think he understands a lot about the game, but there's more that he's going to have to show if he's going to be a first round pick. Right now, he does not have the resume to do that.
No. I ain't talking about right now. But I think we already know
he's not a first round pick. I'm not talking about. He's not a first round pick. I'm not talking about nothing else. He's not a first round pick. Bye. Get off my line. All right. Jesus freaking Christ. Coach Green, coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Do you think the defense was confusing everybody on offense? That's why they didn't run as much as they should have.
Whose offense are you talking about?
FAMU offense. Was JSU defense confusing?
No, I think that Coach. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish your question. I think that Coach Simmons.
I'm with that part.
Yeah, I don't think they were confused. I think that Coach Simmons wasn't as committed to the run, and the reason why I say that is there were no multiple sets to even set it up, you know, to even do it. I'm not convinced that he was committed, even though, you know, they ran the ball 28 times yesterday. The way that they set up the run was just didn't show any evidence that they saw anything on tape. You know, all of that. They weren't confused. They just played a raggedy game.
Hey, and now this is my question for Scotty. Won't.
It's not a question. Bye. Let me see. 0527 coming to you. Timer's on.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for taking my call, man. Hey, I called probably about 3 weeks ago, and I was just mentioning to you guys about the importance of FAMU losing their defensive coordinator about 30 days before the first game. And I know Kofi was like, oh, no. They got Smitty, and he's going to do this and do that from that point. And so this proves my point about, I can just tell you like this. You lose defensive coordinator, you bring in new coaches, and they're trying to figure out, you know, who can play, who can't. Can you believe we had Bowler yesterday at safety on the first touchdown? And this guy, it's like, wow, this is crazy, man. We playing 10 yards off the ball. It's sometimes when they were going trips, it was like this pitch and catch all day long, man. And
here's what I'm gonna say.
No, I'm going. Let me say this. I want you to go back, watch that first touchdown where they do a slant in the end zone. Jackson State does a slant, the back end slant. I want everybody to go. What? This is how bad. This is why Ryan Smith should be fired today.
Right.
Go watch that play. There's a corner. They're about 12 yards off the end zone. There's a corner. His heels are on the end zone. He is backpedaling in the end zone. He's already 12 yards off, and he's backpedaling in the end zone. I'm like, who in the hell is teaching this? This is god awful. I want everybody, all 809 of y'all, go back to the first touchdown. Look at the right side of the field where they throw it. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in defensive football ever. You're never taught to backpedal in the end zone. It just doesn't make sense, especially all that space. I'm sorry, Kofi. Go ahead. Now you can go. You were so right, sir. So right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The thing that I'm going to say is we were playing off people last year, you know, and hearing Smitty talk football, you would think that he would know better, or they would. I'm disappointed at his lack of adjustments, but I just want to point out this again against teams that were able to throw the football last year, which was Alabama A&M, Southeastern Louisiana, and what was the other school? Oh, North Carolina. Well, we didn't play North Carolina last year. But in those two games, Southeast Louisiana and Southeast Louisiana and who did I say, bro? Southeast Louisiana and Alabama A&M. We gave up over 30 points. So, and that's with both defensive coordinators that we had. Last year, the only teams that were really able to throw the ball were those two teams. We didn't necessarily perform that well, which means schematically, we're doing something wrong. The difference is with Savion, we had somebody that could, in that front four, that could provide an additional, I want to say, pressure on the QB. When you play pass defense, one of the things that you have to do is pressure the QB. We're not doing that at all.
Right. But Kofi, but this is the thing. If you see that you cannot get pressure, right, with your front four, you got to now be able to dial up something to be able to say, I tell you what, if my front four not getting there, I got to do something because it's putting too much pressure on the back five. And so the thing is, we even ran one time a corner blitz. I'm not lying, man. A corner blitz from the hash marks. The corner is coming. And think about it, he's running into the defensive end out at the 5 mark, coming through the 5 hole. So it's like, man, this is embarrassing, man.
There's
totally embarrassing. And this is the sad thing now. The SWAT cannot. It's so poor coaching
that we probably will go 9-2 because nobody is able to exploit that. And now it looks like the defensive coordinator has made adjustments, and we're doing just fine, and it won't get addressed. And that's what's so terrible about the situation, man.
No, you preaching, bro.
All right, thanks for taking my call.
No,
That's a word from the Lord.
No, you preaching, bro.
That's a word from the Lord.
Like, I'm so serious right now. Like, when I was watching the film, I had Kofi, I swear to, like, the reason I was so upset, I watched it like 10 times. It was so bad. I called Key. I was like, Key, come watch this, baby. She don't know nothing about. I just had to explain it to somebody because I was that mad. I just had
He backed out of the end zone.
Kofi, he's already like 12 yards off.
It's ridiculous. You don't have. Why would you give that much room? And that was dumb.
I'm telling you, Kofi. I literally, everything in my soul, I just was like, who teaches this? Like, really, who teaches? Like, I was so upset. I'm like, what is this? But that's it's the coaching in the SWAC that is just so like I said it. I think I said on the
Smitty's better than that. I don't know what they were thinking.
Listen. You what Bill Belichick said. You are what your record is.
Bill Barcells said that. You are
what your record says you are. You are what the tape says you are, sir. That's what the tape says he is. He's that. I don't. Oh, I see a 202 number. DMV, you're good with me. All right, let's go. What's up, 202? You live.
What's going on, Scotty? What's going on, Scotty? Hey, I love the show. Love what y'all are doing. My question is, do you see a scenario where Coach Prime, after going undefeated, possibly going undefeated again this year, number one recruit that he already took, that he goes and takes Shador to another school with more competition? Because you just said you don't see Shador going high in these rounds. So taking his talent somewhere else, another FBS, another FCS school.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you two sides of this. I'm gonna give you my opinion, but it's not for me. I'm not trying to sabotage Jackson State. Anything is possible, right? Like he could do it. You know, anything's possible. But let me give you my real answer on the fact of I don't think it, because what he's doing at Jackson State, he can never do it anywhere else. He could never do this at any other PWI to where you're dictating every single option of, you know what I'm saying? Like, because think about it. He's the biggest name on the campus, right? So he can kind of overshadow, he can talk bad about stuff, he can say things and it kind of gets moved. But when you go to them PWIs and them alumni got long money, I'm talking about like 6-figure checks they be writing and 7-figure checks they be writing. They not going for that. It's a different beast. So I think where Dion is, it benefits him and his son the best because they really get the culture really gets behind them, and you see them push them forward, propel them forward. Like, let's be honest, and I want you to be a whole buck right now. Do you think that Shador on the sideline with the chains, do you think that can happen at any other PWI? Like, just
of course not.
You see,
of course not. But I'm saying, and honestly, I want him to stay. I love what's happening with everybody and the excitement about HBCUs, the excitement about the SWAC, all of this. But you even said yourself, because of the competition they're playing, they're not really looked at as, you know, going first round, second round, all these things. I want him to stay. Don't get me wrong. But if you're not going to get these looks, I feel like he's at Jackson State. His son is at Jackson State to promote him and to get him in the best place possible. Not to mention, every school is seeing the Coach Prime effect that he can have, bringing all these NFL guys, bringing coaches like Zimmer. So, you know, I feel like other people can see that he's going to at least bring notoriety. He's going to bring his Hollywood and everything that comes with Coach Prime.
Oh Jesus. This is my thing with, and I'm gonna let Kofi have the final word, but this is my thing when it comes to you just can't move. Like, he can't move. First of all, he would never go to UM because it's Miami, he's Florida State. I don't think that would ever work. If I'm being honest, I don't think he would ever do that. If they paid him enough, you know, I think Deion would go with the money, but I don't think he would want to. But I just think there's a there's a swag that comes with Deion that I don't think a lot of PWIs would accept. That's the whole issue. You know what I'm saying? Like being in press conferences with hoodies and chains, like some press conferences want, like PWIs just don't accept that. It's no different than going to your job, your regular job, and some jobs don't have a problem with your hair being in dreads, or, you know, black women wearing weave and they got to wear straight hair. Like there's an appearance that white people want to see you appear as. And I think when you go to a PWI, it just doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to, if he goes to a PWI, they would have to completely buy in to the Deion Sanders experience, which means, hey, I'm gonna do it this way, don't do it this way. So I think he would do better at a UCF than he would at a Florida State. I think he would do better at, you know, like a group of 5 and take them that like if he went to a Cincinnati, like a school like Cincinnati, and then brought them up to that level, I think that would work better than him going to like a SEC program, because they're gonna be like, bro, we've been this without you and we'll be this without, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't have that affinity.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? They don't have that affinity to.
I agree.
So
and I want to see him stay. I see some people in the comments saying that I want him to go or I want him gone. Nah, I want him in the SWAC. I want him at HBCUs because of what he's doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I also think that his priority is his son and getting them to the next level.
No,
or his players.
Like I think, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, like, he wants that Sanders name to, like, come on, man, like the Mannings. He wants that Sanders name to be like the Mannings. He wants that Sanders name to be like the Currys of basketball. You know, like you want that. It just, you know, like Jordan probably wanted it, but his kids sucked. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you have to as a father, if I did something, I would want my son to follow my footsteps if I was successful at it. If it was a lawyer or a dentist or anything. So it's respect. I respect the fact that Deion wants to see his son in the NFL and carry on that Sanders tradition of being great and being in the NFL. It's part of white people do it all the time. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm gonna get too deep because people are gonna start getting mad at me. But I agree with you though. At the end of the day, I do agree with you.
Here's the thing about Deion.
I appreciate the call. And taking my call. Oh, go ahead, Cole.
No, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Cole.
Here's the thing about Deion and his family in a place like Jackson. Like literally, he is the king of Jackson. Being there, having a say about the water, adopting the city, creating these relationships. This is a big deal. It means a ton to Jackson, Mississippi for Deion to be there, and his level of influence steps across racial boundaries and other things. Here's the other thing that I would say. Now, if there is a place, I do think obviously for Deion to go somewhere, I don't think it's coming anytime soon. I also am adept or aware of Deion's spiritual side. I believe that the Lord opened up that door and that window for him to be at Jackson State in Jackson for a time such as this. Now, if there is a school, I think that the whole thing with Florida State, I don't think he's going back to Florida State because of the way Florida State did what they did before. I don't think that door is closed. He will always remember the people burning his freaking jerseys. That is never. I think that door and that window with Florida State is definitely closed. He understands who those people are. A low-key place that I think would work would be Georgia Tech. And that's because the city of Atlanta would embrace him, and he would have an opportunity in terms of market to uplift that program to a place that would be able to compete with the University of Georgia, and you would have a whole bunch of colored people at Georgia Tech games that haven't been there before. So I think Georgia Tech would be more open to somebody like a Deion Sanders, and the ACC doesn't have nearly the pressure of an SEC school, and the fact that he knows Atlanta, his lifestyle wouldn't change, and I think the branding opportunities that he would be able to bring would be epic.
All right. Let me see. I got a lot of people on the call. I'm gonna take 3 more callers. I'm gonna go 5059. I'm gonna go 6233 with Rock, and then I'm gonna go I'm gonna go 3215. If I didn't call your names, y'all might as well just jump off the call line. So it's 5059-6233. And who else I said? I think I said 3215. Yeah, 3215. Those are my last three callers. Appreciate everybody else for calling in. Y'all got to get in where y'all fit in, bro. You should have called in earlier. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, Scotty. Here's my question. Something I haven't heard anybody talking about is the critical advantage that Jackson State has because of Mike Zimmer, and if other SWAC members will be able to overcome the advantage that he provides by being at Jackson State.
All right, here's the thing. If you're serious, everybody wants to win, right? Or they say they want to win. I think you're going to see. I mean, Grambling has a coach that has had analysts before, so he knows how this thing is done and how it's supposed to look, and the benefit of having people around you that have a high football acumen and can help your program. I think 100% of the time, if you're serious about winning, you got to do it, because if you don't get your ass beat. So I expect to see Grambling do it. I expect to see it from Southern. I expect to see it from FAMU. And that's going to demand a greater measure of commitment by the fan base and the administration to take the football program where it has not been before. But if you look at the budgets of where we are right now you would just look at it and be like, boom, but it's not there. But I think you're going to see some copycat, because that's what people do. That's the nature of who we are and what we do. There will be copycats.
I think what's tough is, and I gotta keep it a buck. Like, that's the fluff answer. The fluff answer is it is unfair. At the end of the day, it is unfair, because you have guys with extensive amount of experience doing it for free, because they just know that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my boy, so I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna help him. It's not fair. But what I do like is it challenges SWAC coaches. They get better. You got to get better, man. Like that basic stuff that you doing. Like, don't get me wrong. I like adding Mike Zimmer to a staff that was already crazy in defense, and made it even more defense. Yes, it's not fair, but if he didn't do that, you would still be doing the basic ass stuff they doing. Bruh. So now it makes you have to reach out to your contacts or whoever you know and like, hey man, help me. You know what I'm saying? That basic stuff is not going to work anymore. So, can Alabama State, can Bethune-Cookman, can they just go get an NFL coordinator who's had extensive amount of experience as a head coach in DC to come down and be an analyst or an advisor? No. But there are some great football minds out there that you can reach out to and say, hey man, this is what's going on. Yo, can you come down? Can you talk to me? Can you show me something? Like, that's what you got to do. You got to network, and doing that same old ain't going to work.
Now, let me say this. Earl Holmes, who used to be our head coach, had someone like that in Dick LeBeau, who was helping, didn't really help all that much. But, he had the relationships with the Dick LeBeau to do that. Eddie Robinson has professional relationships. Eddie George has professional relationships. You're going to see that a whole lot more. Like I said, when people have really good success, they reach out to people that have helped them in the past, or people that they have a relationship with, and this is how this thing works.
Now, I think you're spot on, because when you look at a lot of the PWIs that have analysts, these are normally coaches on the back end of their careers. And as analysts, they don't have any contact with the players anyway. It's just a coach-to-coach type deal. So even looking at it from that standpoint, do you think, not do you think, but how do you think that would impact HBCUs in obtaining that level of experience? Because these are not beginners. These are coaches normally on the backside of their careers.
If you're looking to get to the next level, you sure better get you some help, and you're better off surrounding yourself with people that know what they're doing. The best results happen from having the right people around you. And if you understand that concept, you will have success.
you gotta listen. At the end of the day, you gotta use all your resources, right? You gotta use all your resources possible, because that's what Deion's resources just more extensive than yours. But are you using, like, when you, okay, it's like this, right? It's like when you look at somebody who is out there, you know, like, okay, I'll give you a good example. A person with a rich parent and person with a poor parent, right? The rich parent is putting their kids in training lessons and classes and
language,
all the possible ways to make them better. But the poor kid, he doesn't have the same resources, so he has to be more creative. He has to find a friend whose father does training. He has to find a homeboy that he can partner with and go to the gym with. He has to find different ways. So what it's making SWAC coaches have to do is, listen, we have to be more creative in getting a better understanding of how to get better in what we do. That's what it is. The same old is not going to work anymore. So I would get my coaching staff together and I say, yo, who do you know that can come in here and assist? Who do you know that we can reach out to and talk to and bring them in as an analyst, or bring them in as you got to do all your work to be the best version of yourself. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you. They're just going to be like, you should have figured out more resources.
Yep. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good one now.
Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to take these last two callers, and we gone. All right? We're going to take these last two callers, and we will be out of here.
Get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
If you're searching online for high-quality premium cigars, look no further than slowburnwaco.com. Slow Burn is a black-owned, consistent, customer-centric cigar retailer with dope-ass cigars, featuring boutique brands and a wide variety of well-known brands.
When you order at slowburnwaco.com, Keisha and Rocky Miller will ensure that your cigars are carefully inspected before they are packaged, making sure your order arrives on time and in the best condition. So make your next move your best move and order some sticks at slowburnwaco.com.
Man, listen, whoever said LeBron got resources, bro, I agree with you. FAMU is not using LeBron to his fullest extent. And it might be, it should be in basketball or whatever. I don't care. They're not getting the full heavyweight of LeBron being a sponsor. I'm just gonna say that right now. Rocky, coming to you. Hey, what's up, Rock?
Hey, what's up, man? First off, I'd like to say condolences to Kofi. I hope everything is going on with the family is okay after that significant loss. I know it was hard on you guys, and I just want to start out by saying that. But let's think about this, y'all. Man, I love this conversation y'all having for this reason, bro. Is that has the SWAC really been trying to compete in football before Deion got there?
No.
So here's my point. Academically, I think the SWAC does an amazing job academically, right, for black people. But Kofi, explain to me, why did they decide the SWAC? And I'm not talking about the man or nothing like that. Why has the SWAC taken a back seat for the last, say, 25 years to the major conferences and the PWIs in sports? Can you explain that to me?
Yes, I can explain that. And
can you not use the man as the reason why?
Oh, absolutely. The man is not the reason. People perish for a lack of knowledge. And you can get knowledge one way. You can learn through your own hard knocks, or you can get somebody around you who understands what needs to be done, and you figure out a way to do it. It begins with your level of commitment, and it also begins with the leadership and the people that you choose to establish or lead your program. And we've had people in positions of power who have been completely incompetent from the top on down. In order to have a winning program or a successful program, you have to have presidents and ADs and people in your leadership team who know what they're doing. And we've been satisfied with having people who are simply mediocre or totally uncommitted. It's just now that people are beginning to understand the necessity of having a president who is totally committed to your athletic program. If you don't have that, you're not going to be successful. Now, the other thing is, as fans, we have been totally asleep at the wheel because we're satisfied with what we're satisfied with. And we think because we wave our pom-poms at the game or we show up to the game, that's going to send the program to the next level. It looks good on TV, but that's not where the war is won. The war is won behind the scenes with people that know how to access funds, access resources, and the people that are really willing to simply give to send that program to the next level. It's not the man, it's us, because we've settled for a whole lot less than what we can be. But without a vision, the people perish. And we haven't really had a vision, and we've accepted mediocrity for so long that we thought that it was okay.
Hey, Kobe, I appreciate that answer, man, because that's an honest answer from someone coming out from outside of HBU football and becoming a fan. And I trusted HBCU, Prairie View specifically with my daughter's education, and there's tons of evidence that she'll get a top-notch quality education from PV. However, when we look at the landscape, when we look at what has happened over Grambling in the last 20 years and other institutions, how they, really just undervalue sports. At the same time, sports have exploded all over college football. And I think HBCUs have something very unique to offer, and they've decided to be essentially second-class citizens in the arms race of college athletics.
Now,
not invested in facilities, not invested in making sure that their students or college athletes, student athletes, have adequate staffing so that they can get the things done that they need to get done. Like, it's a systemic problem, right? Do you think Deion's presence will make that change, will encourage other HBCUs to make those huge investments that are necessary in the building of the athletics program?
Absolutely, because if you don't, you're going to get killed. But here's the thing. People say that we don't have resources, and I really disagree with that, because the impact that FAMU's homecoming has, or anybody's homecoming has, is millions of dollars on that city. The problem is the money is focused on stuff that has nothing to do with the university's success. Imagine if a $50 million impact goes straight to athletics, what that would do for any given HBCU program. It's a matter of focus. It's a matter of commitment, and we can do it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm looking forward to, Deion, I think, when you look back 10, 15 years from now, what he's done at Jackson State is going to be remarkable. But if his presence has encouraged, if his presence ends up raising the bar of HBCUs across the board, it's going to be a transformational impact on society as a whole, And I just hope that whether it be Grambling, Southern, Prairie View, TSU, whatever, they not only invest in facilities and all those kind of things, but they invest in quality coaches and stop the cronyism that has the system, in my opinion, broke in HBCU football. Like, the cronyism is what I think is what kind of breeds the lack of investment, because people have used it to what it seems to do is just hire their friends within one pool or one segment of society, man. But thanks for answering my question, Kofi. I appreciate everything, man. You guys are doing a great job, bro.
Hey, appreciate the call, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Carter just keeps jumping in here, so I'm gonna take him, and then 3215, you're gonna be the last person. Mr. Carter, I'm gonna ask you, please do not take a long time. I know you be talking long. All right, Mr. Ronnie, you.
All right.
I had this game 50-0. I had this game 50-17. Florida A&M. They haven't won a championship since 2001.
And Jackson State has?
Bishop Bonnie was the whole team last year. I had a stroke, and you last time I called up there, you laughed me off. But who's laughing now?
Mr. Carter, you haven't called. Hold on, Mr. Carter. You didn't call. You haven't called this season. Stop lying. Stop lying. You have not called this season. You're lying.
I called a couple months ago.
It wasn't the start of the season though, so stop lying.
I called a couple months ago because Scotty, I called you. I called Scotty. Just give me time. Give me time.
I got you.
Scotty.
Take your time. Take your time.
I am one of your first callers when you got to the station. I call you the voice of the SWAC. All right.
I'm listening.
I had a stroke, Scotty, but I'm coming off the stroke because the Florida State guy, I called up there about 2 months ago. I listened to your show all the time when I was in the hospital, Scotty, and it kept me going. And the people that called up to the show, they kept me going. And now I am able to speak. My name is Coach Pep. I had Florida A&M losing 50-17. I text you on the show other day because Jackson State, I had them losing 50-17 because Jackson was gonna put the second string in there, right? I done said all I can say, but you Google it, Scotty, and you tell me what Florida A&M has won, because people give too much attention to Florida A&M because they haven't won the championship since 2001. Google it.
That's fair.
Google it.
That's fair. That's fair. But you, Mr. Pell, real quick before you get back started, like you can't just. It's the same thing with Jackson State. They hadn't won anything since what, 2009, 2010 or whatever, or been in the SWAC championship. And then, they add Dion and they do something new. You know what I'm saying? So it will be wrong for me to have that same premonition on Jackson State to be like, oh, they ain't won nothing since, 2010, even though it's true. You know what I'm saying? So this is a new time. This is a new era. You got to give some credence to that. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead.
I understand you, Scotty, but Bishop Bonnie was their whole team. Bishop Bonnie was the best player in the SWAC last year, but he was playing out of position. If you would move him to the slot, he get drafted the same way Nico Duffy is at Alcorn. He playing out of position. He would move to the slot. He gonna get drafted. These fastest guys are small. They don't use they don't use them in the NFL. But Bishop Bonnet was my player because he could have been used in the slot.
I think, Mr. Pep, at the same time, this is how you got to look at it, right? Is that it's like when you're coaching a little league football, right? You got a big kid and you like, man, he's fast, but in basketball, I'll give you a good example of basketball, right? AAU, you get the big kid, he's athletic, but you need him as a center. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to, like, if he was on a team with all the people around him, he would be a 2-guard, 3-guard. But he the biggest guy, he the most athletic. I got to put him at the center. You know what I'm saying? So with Bishop Bonnet and Nico Duffy, they might be great in the slot, but at the end of the day, that's where they're needed the most at that position. You get what I'm saying? So that's what coaches have to do. I got to see where he's most valuable at to my team, because he's not as valuable to me in the slot. I got somebody for the slot. I need a running back. So that's why you have a Bishop Bonnet and Nico Duffy as running backs. And I don't now, if Bishop Bonnet was using the slot as well as the running back, I think that would have made his value go up. But nobody was more valuable as a running back than Bishop Bonnet was for FAMU last year. And that's just point blank, period.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Scotty, but I was in the hospital and I listened to your show every day. That brought me. It moved me. The football talk, it moved me.
No,
I want to thank you.
No, I appreciate it, Coach
Pep.
Right. And I'm gonna have your son on pretty soon, Coach Morgan down at Langston Hughes. So I'm gonna do that for you. I know you've been asking me to interview him for a long time, so I'm gonna interview him soon on the show.
My grandson had kidney cancer last year. He couldn't come on to your show because he canceled last year, but he fine now. They just won 48 to 4 straight teams yesterday.
Yeah, I know he's a bad man down there. We're going to get him on the channel for you. All right, Coach Pep. Appreciate the call as always, Coach. And, hey, keep getting better and keep calling in. I'll give you the time you need.
All right.
All right, Coach Pep. No problem. Shout out to Coach Pep. Shout out to Coach Pep. Last caller, 3215, man. You live. Hey, caller, you live talking.
Good evening, Scotty.
What's up?
Kofi. Good evening. Good evening.
Yo.
All right. Thank you, Coach Pep, for calling in. I hope you get well soon. The caller before, he spoke to the cronyism, which I think I've actually voiced a couple of times already. But hopefully with Dion raising the level of competition, as well as Eddie and Coach Jackson at Grambling, I think raising the level of competition is going to make everyone better. What do you think, Scotty?
I think you have to, it's no different. Like I try to compare stuff in life, right? So when, if you go to high school and you're a senior and you're so used to doing something and a freshman comes in and he's like, yo, you're like, oh, this dude's different. You got to step your game up. And that's what Dion is doing. Right. He has some resources that you just don't have. You know what I'm saying? He has resources that you just do not have, but football is still football. I'm sorry, at the end of, if he goes and plays another FCS school, they not gonna care that he got those resources. They gonna try to beat him just like everybody else. So at some point in time, we gotta hold the SWAC accountable. And I know money, people gonna say about the money. I'm just talking about pure X's and O's, just pure X's and O's. Yeah. Football does not change. You know what I'm saying? You can make it look different or whatever, but it does not change. And guys have to get better.
Yeah. One more question before I get out of here. Should JSU run the table and they receive an at-large bid to the playoffs? Should they take that or just continue to the Celebration Bowl?
Well, they haven't won the Celebration Bowl, so that whole $1 million paycheck would do even more for their program at this time. But they would have an interesting dilemma. Obviously, they would have to win the SWAC championship game to officially win the SWAC, and they would have to decline playing in that game to go to the playoffs.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, Scotty.
No problem, man. Appreciate the call as always. All right, shutting the call lines down. Appreciate everybody that called in, especially Coach Pep.
Goodbye.
Listen, Coach Pep, I'm so glad this show. Listen, you know, there's times when I do this show and, you know, I get a lot of pushback and feedback and negativity, but stuff like that always makes me smile. And I appreciate that my show could keep you going in your time of need in the football and things like that. So whatever I can do to assist in your recovery, if that means you calling in or, you know, text in if you want to text your stuff and I can read it out on the channel, you can just text that number at the top. I'll happily read it out, your opinions on the channel and things like that. I'll happily do that. All right. Because there is no off script without you, Coach Pep. There's no off script without half the people out here watching it and doing it when it's done. So shout out to you, Coach Pep, and I really mean that. Real quick before we get out of here, I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands about the homecoming that is coming. All right. So if you can make it, just please, you know, have a reservation. Okay. This is the homecoming of FAMU, excellence with caring. Okay.
Homegoing or homecoming?
I'm coming, they going. How about that? There you go. I'm coming, they going. Order of the service, Reverend T.D. Jakes will be in attendance. All right. I can't say that church name, but it's cool. You know, listen, it's star-studded. All right. It is star-studded. If you're trying to get some autographs, you got Tamala Mann, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Pastor Michael Todd, Bishop Marvin Sapp. Listen, everybody's up in this mug.
You're going to have to take Larry Robinson off the program. I told y'all that before. He can't do nothing. Why is he up there?
I'm telling you, this is some nice stuff. Whoever made this, man, that young man is gifted. Oh, my God. I think his name rhymes with Ade. I don't know. I think his name rhymes with Ade. Anyway.
All right, Snotty, let's go.
All right, Coach. Hey, roll the 10K for off script. All right, roll the 10K for off script. Listen, we're doing a giveaway for the 10K. When we get to 10K, we're giving away. We're gonna give away a gift card, a whole little off script package. You know what I'm saying? We got it. We're building it right now. So make sure you stay tuned for the road to 10K, the giveaway. Make sure you share, like. Kofi, what you got coming up?
Man, we got the ONG Strike Zone. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about coming up on this Wednesday, and it's going to be big. And looking forward to this Wednesday and the discussion and where we going, because this AD search is coming down to the wire.
It is, absolutely is. Okay, Wednesday. Listen, I want to be very clear, okay? I tried to tell you guys yesterday I will be on the road a lot. Literally, after I get off this show, me and Key are hitting the road at 3 a.m, going down to New Orleans. Yes. We're headed to New Orleans. I got to do a press conference down there that I got to be attending. So I'm be in New Orleans. So Tuesday is going to be a very weird schedule. I'm trying to do a film breakdown. I won't have the board, but I'll try to do it live on the Jackson State, some of Andrew Body's game or something like that. All right. So I'll try to do that for you guys. Wednesday, I will still be in New Orleans. Hopefully the press conference and the breakdown show, I can do the same, or, you know, push it up maybe 2 or 3, and me and Mike Reed. Listen, I know I made a bet. I don't welch on my bets. I will come through. All right. But the roundtable will definitely be in full effect because that is an afternoon show. Okay. The press conference is midday. That's usually when we do the breakdown. So just listen, if you're not following me on social media, please go follow me right now. OffScript_TV on Twitter and Instagram. All right. Go follow me and you get all the updates for the show. All right. So that's what I'm going to be. And if you're at the Southern Heritage Classic, your boy going to be there as well. I want to make a caveat. Blue will also be there, so it might be a weather delay. Listen, Blue is 2 for 2 on weather delays. Do you hear me? Wherever Blue go, lightning comes with them. So be very mindful.
Lord have mercy.
I'm giving you a heads up. Blue's going to be at the Southern Heritage Classic. It's going to be raining. Okay, everybody already said it's going to be raining. Blue's bringing the lightning. Okay, so be very. I'm just telling y'all.
That boy got God.
That boy
glory.
That boy got white lightning with him. I'm telling you, right? So it's crazy. All right. So listen, guys, I appreciate everybody, all 500 you guys. It was 800 you guys on the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 on the Afterglow as well. Make sure you listen, all you Jack State fans, please come back on Wednesday. You're going to enjoy Mike Reed giving me the business. Trust me. I got to dress up in full Jackson State attire, and I got to do the theme song or alma mater or whatever of Jackson State on the channel. So Mike Reed is definitely not going to let me get away with that. But guys, listen, I appreciate every one of you guys. Please have us in your traveling prayers. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.